Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Monday, November 9th, 2015. And here are some of today's trends in the news. On the market front, things are high over there in Shanghai. Market keeps moving up. And you know why? On the good news. China's trade figures disappointed analysts' expectations by a wide margin in October, reinforcing views that the world's second largest economy will likely to have to do more to stimulate domestic demand, given stubborn softness in overseas markets. Who they write stubborn softness? A stupid lingo. Let's not be stubborn. Let's stop being so defiant and stubborn. Be a good boy. People have no dough. Everything's concentrated in the hands of a few. Again, go back to those numbers that came out Friday on those wonderful unemployment figures. Yeah. We got less jobs than we had in 2000. That's right. But the population increased a lot since 2000, over 15 years. Same amount of jobs. And then you look at the jobs that were created. Yeah, leisure and hospitality. Lost jobs in mining, energy, and manufacturing. But those leisure and those hospitality jobs, bellhops, people taking your car when you pull up to a hotel, waiters, waitresses, they pay about $350 a week, if that. Maybe $19,000 a year. Can't live on it. So, going back to the fraud of stubborn softness, October exports fell 6.9% from a year ago, dropping for a 4th month in a row, while imports, you ready for this? That's stuff the Chinese buy, down 18.8%, leaving the country with a record high trade surplus of $61.64 billion, and that imports, it was down the month before? 20.4%. Yeah, stubborn softness, huh? I said this years ago. When Americans and Europeans don't buy stuff, the Chinese don't make it. And when the Chinese don't make it, all of these natural resource and other countries exporting heavily to China, they don't sell as much stuff to them. Very clear. Now they're making up a new story about it. And of course, the yuan is weakened by more than 2% in 2015. And they keep going on with this. But what they don't talk about is that the yuan has increased about 23% since 2005. So a cheaper yuan is not going to help China export more. It's not going to help them, but they'll make an issue of it in the States and other prostitutes saying that China's devaluing their yuan so they could export more. But here's the story. The Chinese know what's going on. Chinese investors, jolted out of complacency by yuan's August 11th devaluation, are chasing dollar-denominated assets to guard against currency volatility, according to Western Asset Management Company, and they manage $450 billion. So what are the Chinese doing? People are showing more interest in owning U.S. and Hong Kong dollar-denominated assets. Go back to your TrendsJournal. Top trends. China boomtown. You see what's going on? They're getting out. They're going where the dough is, and it ain't at home. So what else happened in the markets? Well, over there in Europe, bleep, blop, bloop, down. Here in the States, the markets were down almost 250 points. Closed down 175. Hey, but we had all those great job numbers on Friday. What happened? Well, it's just another day of...
That was bullshit.
It was bullshit. Went through the numbers. You know what it looks like? This whole thing is in a slowdown. Front page of the Financial Times. Saudis vow to keep pumping oil despite domestic financial pain. That's right. Oil is down again today. Yeah, remember how they keep pumping it up? Keeps going down. That's right. We saw West Texas go back to the 43 level. Boop, popped up back around 44. Old Mr. Brent around 47. Saudi Arabia needs $100 a barrel to keep their budget going on even. Saudi Arabia is determined to stick to its policy of pumping enough oil to protect its global market share, despite the financial pain inflicted on the economy. And you know who said that? Senior Saudi officials. Officials in Riyadh said their policy will be vindicated in 1 or 2 years' time when revived demand swallows the global oil glut and prices begin to recover. They're not going to recover, I don't think. Because we're forgetting Iran is going to be pumping out more oil. And they got a lot of it. And when the prices go up, everybody starts pumping more. For the people that can't make money, pumping it at low prices. There's other things too. Alternative energies at a time when oil prices are declining. Very important, no one's talking about it. Taking greater share of fossil fuel market. Here, front page in the New York Times. In Texas, night wind blow in free electricity. Night winds blow in free electricity. In Texas, wind farms are generating so much energy that some utilities are giving power away. Texas has more wind power than any other state, accounting for roughly 10% of the state's generation. Alone among the 48 contiguous states, Texas runs its own electricity grid that barely connects to the rest of the country, so the abundance of nightly wind power generated here must be consumed here. Showing how people are getting this stuff for almost free. So this is happening at a time when the global markets are slowing down. All the commodities are going down because of that slump over there. And what else do we have here? Well, weak industrial data. That's right, a slump in Germany's industry hit economic growth in the third quarter. Friday's release of surprisingly weak German industrial output data prompted many economists to lower their growth forecasts for the Eurozone's powerhouse. The Economic Ministry announced a 1.1 monthly drop in industrial production. And this is coming from Germany. And again, you look at those numbers, the jobs that are being created, they stink. The largest sector was healthcare, which includes home health aides and nursing homes, whose median hourly salary is $10.74. And leisure and hospitality, $10.31 an hour. So, the National Employment Law Project notes that while U.S. businesses have added 1.85 million low-wage paying jobs over the past 6 years, you ready? They eliminated 1.83 million median wage and high wage jobs. Hey, don't forget to vote for Hillary. Yeah, her old man sold us out with NAFTA. And don't forget to vote Democrat. You love that Trans-Pacific Partnership deal, don't you? Yeah, you think the jobs stink now? Don't worry about it. They'll get worse, but we got to compete against them Chinese and them Vietnamese. We got to drive American wages much lower so we could compete. That's the stupidity of it. So the other news is the presidential reality show, and what a freak show it is. Donald Trump on Saturday Night Live. Carly Fiorina fighting it out on The View. One stupid piece of garbage after another. And then they got Ben Carson. You know, Ben Bullshit Carson. How about that? You know, I grew up in this neighborhood in the Bronx, man. Well, Detroit. I'm from the Bronx, I forgot. And we moved to Yonkers, we social climbed. I got in fights, knife fights, but you know, the guy hit me in the buckle. I hit him in the buckle and it saved his life. If the buckle wasn't there, and then Trump comes out and says, well, that's not true, buckles turn. Yeah, like Trump's been in a fight too. Making up this crap. You know, I could have got a scholarship to West Point, but it really never happened. Yeah. So instead, you know, I went to school in West Virginia. One lie after another. You know why? Because they're sociopaths and psychopaths. You read the list of lies and exaggerations from one after another. You cannot make this up. All of them. And that's the news. One lie after another. Talks about being in Yale and this and that. And the guy gave me $10 because I was the only one who came back and took the test. But it wasn't a real test. We don't have any photographs of it. But one little phony story after another. So when people think that there's a conspiracy theory out there and there's someone pulling the strings and the clowns are only behaving the way they do, you know, because they're just puppets, to an extent, that's true, but mostly totally false. George H.W. Bush slams iron-ass Cheney. Yep. You saw what came out, right? Bush wrote this thing about, you know, Cheney, iron-ass. Yeah. Iron-ass dick, right? You know all about it. So, it shows how Cheney basically took the nation to war. It's right there. Anybody could read the facts. One lie after another being told. So here's something that puts it into perspective. This is from Junior Bush, Georgie boy, talking to his father on Christmas Day in 2002. I never asked Dad what I should do, he wrote in a portrait of my father. We both knew that this war was a decision that only the president could make. Hey, Junior, what do you mean a decision that only the president can make? How about Congress? Oh no, it's the Royal Bush family. Royal Gardens, Bush bullshit. You hear it right from them. We have nothing to say. Pay your taxes. Behave, be good little boys and girls. Only the president could declare war in the country that's been taken over by freaks. Ain't nobody behind the curtain, man, other than Bush and Dick or penis. I have to be proper. Cheney. Yep. One line, and here's what the old man says to him. H.W.'s response. Quote, you know how tough war is, son, and you've got to try everything you can to avoid war. No, he doesn't know how tough war is. This little guy never fought in his life. He got that easy street. You know that story. Matter of fact, the movie's about it. How the Bush people ran the show for their boys and gave them a free ride during Vietnam. That's right. You know how tough war is. And the guy that ran the war, Cheney, 5 draft deferments. 5. But boy, does he talk tough. You know that guy, when he snarls, when he smiles, you know, when he sneers, it always looks the same. He's a freak. It's a freak show. Where is the courage of the people? The details are there for everyone to read and understand. You had a couple of freaks, Rumsfeld, Condoleezza Rice, Colin Powell, Wolfowitz, Cheney, Bush, one after another, a small group that took us to war based on lies. And the information of the lies is there for everybody to see. But no one wants to admit what they have there in front of their eyes. They want to believe it's something else. And you know what the irony of this is? People would never tolerate this on a one-on-one relationship, whether it's in partners in love, in business, friendship. You give a guy a dirty look at the bar, in the bar, you're into a fight. But yet, they allow freaks like Cheney, iron-ass Dick, and a Bush. You can't make it up. Dick, Bush, and Colin. And we got screwed, especially those poor Iraqi people whose nation they destroyed. In the presidential election, nothing but a freak show. It's up to you to change it. It does not take a majority to prevail. Rather, an irate, tireless minority, keen on setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men. Samuel Adams, the hearts of men against a bunch of boys. I'll go with the men. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's Trends in the News.